Konnichiwa, y'all, and welcome to the MrMaple Show. We're brothers Matt and Tim. Welcome to the 10 at 10.
Today's the 10 at 10 for February 13th of 2025. We're going to talk about 10 of the 20 trees getting listed today on MrMaple.com at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time.
But wait, there's more. We've got a killer Valentine's Day sale going on right now, guys. There's some incredible plants marked down. It is Black Friday-esque and all the savings, so make sure to check that out.
Now let's jump in with Acer Palmatum Jim's Memory. This is a selection by our friend Bob McCafferty, named an homage to Jim Schmidt. And Jim Schmidt of Don Schmidt Nursery introduced some amazing plants, great nurseryman. This is a compact red dwarf Japanese maple that it's almost Hime Sojo-like, but it's almost like Hime Sojo and Seiho, a little bit more like Seiho too.
I love this. A lot of interior growth like Seiho, like you're saying, a little bit taller than Hime Sojo, a little bit more upright, incredible growth. I love the pink reds you get on this. It's a showstopper. Great for the container garden as well. Absolutely exquisite. I've had good success with this in sun. It's going to work zones 5 through 9. I think you can push this in sun up to zone 8. Absolutely wonderful plant. It's kind of one of those vigorous dwarfs. Only gets in that 6 foot, 7 foot range even in like 15 years, but it does fill out fairly quickly.
Yeah, this is an excellent small red compact Japanese maple. And like you talked about that cherry reds, when I started seeing the cherry reds on the new growth on a mature specimen at Buckholtz Nursery, I really fell in love with this tree more and more. I think this is one that's got that next level for that red dwarf Japanese maple. You're gonna really enjoy it.
All right, guys, we are bringing back Firefly.
Yeah, Firefly, it's one of those things that keeps changes throughout the seasons. In the springtime, you can really get some really nice sort of pink kind of colors with some strong reticulation, some almost purple borders late in the season. It just keeps putting on a show and keeps changing, and that's one of the reasons people love Firefly.
We named this one here at our farm, guys. Phenomenal plant. Upright habit to it, more narrow than most of your ghost-like trees, so it's got a little bit more upright in the growth of it. 6 to 7 foot tall. A 6 to 7 foot tall tree is typically only about 4 to 5 foot wide, so a lot of that branching is a little bit more street tree and its uprightness. So smaller compact habit there for the landscape, not something that's going to be as wide as, say, even Purple Ghost. People love this one for the colors, though. The colors are ever-changing. You're going to get so many amazing displays out of this one. People will say, hey, I saw a picture of it, mine looks like this. So it's like, just wait, it keeps changing every single week. You're going to love the display this puts out. And probably hands down, my favorite variegated maple right now.
And if you want to see all the color changes, you can go to MrMaple.com. We got plenty of photos of that. But also you can go to the Mr. Maple Friends group on Facebook, search for Firefly. People are posting photos of this tree constantly. You're going to love it. Y'all, next up, we've got Vercade's Jacus Potus. This was found by our good friend Dave Vercade and named after his daughter, Jacqueline. And this is a really unique sessilifolium. It has that angel feather leaf structure. It really gets some really nice apricots in it. And I remember years ago, Matt and I got this directly from Dave himself, and we were up at NJ Acers at one of Edson's maple gatherings, and it was so fun to be able to get this tree for the very first time from Dave Vercade. And we got it in a small pot. I mean, it was probably 2 inches off the graft, and then carried that all the way back to North Carolina in our cup holder. And that's one of the reasons why Vercade's Jacus Potus is kind of in the trade today. We've really pushed it, got it out there, and made a name for it.
This is such a cool plant, guys. Crazy color patterns, pinks, yellows, like Tim said, apricot in the early spring, typically 6 foot and 10 years as well. It's one of the more showy leaf sessilifoliums, has that elongated feather-like leaf, absolutely showstopper. We're going to work zones 5 through 9. Now, give this one some late day shade in your heavy zone 8 and zone 9, but it is super durable. I've seen people growing this one in Seattle in full sun, and it grew like a weed there as well. Great plant overall. I absolutely love the color pattern. Really fun pairing with something like Firefly as well. All right, guys, next up we got Toby Osho. This is a fun fall color plant. Goes through some of the most striking colors. Named by a propagator, Toby. Put his name in there. Sounds a little more Japanese than it is, but Toby Osho, one of the best fall displays of red. I also love this one for a cultivar that can provide great seed for grafting. So a lot of people ask me, and I mean them a lot, asked me one time, what's your favorite cultivar that I could grow seeds from for rootstock? Toby Osho has more going on than rootstock, but I think it would make a good source.
Yeah, Toby Osho really has some great fall colors with some bold reds in the fall. Sometimes you get some orange in there as well. I mean, Milt Toby really had something special with this tree. I think this is a tree a lot of people will enjoy because it gives some dynamic fall colors out there in the landscape and garden. It's got a good vigorous upright habit as well. Grab you a Toby Osho today.
All right, guys, let's bring back Acer Palmatum Uncle Ghost. This is a great member of the Ghost series, of course, named by Talon Buckholtz. If you're looking for an Uncle Ghost, now's a great time to pick one up right in time for spring. Beautiful red displays, Smaller overall habit than many of the other ghosts, typically in that 7 to 8 foot kind of range.
And I think purple ghost, amber ghost, first ghost, those are a little more common. Uncle ghost, one of the less common of that ghost series. You know, typically that mid-sized tree as well with a nice semi-pendulous habit can give you some really nice, just some like pink purples in there and some good strong reticulated variegation. I think Uncle Ghost is heavily underrated. It's a beautiful mid-sized Japanese maple for the garden.
Could haunt your garden today, grab you one. All right, guys, let's bring back one of the most vigorous Acer Japonicums. They're almost too big for ones. These are some XLs. Let's bring back Emmett's Pumpkin.
And today we're gonna have regular 1 gallons about here and then these giant XLs that you see here. Emmett's Pumpkin is that big leafed Acer Japonicum that goes to a pumpkin orange in the fall.
Really in.
It's a fantastic name for a big leafed Acer Japonicum. It was actually named by Emmett's grandmother, who sold these as a way to pay his way into college. I thought
You
that was
just made
pretty
all that up. I was like Baldsmith. Come on now.
That's actually true.
We did meet her. We did meet her at a garden show in South Carolina. She used to charge $1 a piece when she sold these as a royalty. Unlike Bartholomew Smith, he never made any money on it. I love this one, guys. Amazing blushing of oranges in the spring, but really when this one lights up with that large Japonicum foliage is that fall color. You get some of the best oranges going on in the garden, and it gets out there quick. Like I tell everybody this, if you want a Japonicum and you want something that's going to establish itself quickly, Emmett's Pumpkin is the perfect tree for that. Typically over a foot of growth a year on this one, so it's the fastest Japonicum I've seen to date. And you get great orange fall color. So big leaves, orange fall color, and accelerated growth rate really make this one a can't miss for the garden.
And for me, it's one that's been able to handle more sun here in Western North Carolina. Often the Acer Japonicum selection needs some protection from the hot afternoon sun, especially here in the south. And this one doesn't appear to affect it too much here in Western North Carolina. It's been real impressive to me as being one of the more heat-tolerant Acer Japonicum selections.
You should see the bass I caught with this one earlier.
Guys, next up we've got Acer Palmatum Jerry Schwartz. This was named by our friend Billy Schwartz after his mother Jerry. And this is just such a really nice, almost conical, narrow-like habit with the witch's broom. I mean, an amazing tree.
Yeah, more of a columnar habit for a small, compact tree. Crazy color patterns. You can get pinks, you can get yellows, you can get some oranges even in the early spring. Great fall color. A lot of people love this one for its midsummer color, where you kind of have pinks emerging over that greener, older growth. Jerry Schwartz makes a great container plant because of that small, conical shape, but it also looks great in the landscape. I have one in a Makawa garden to break up the colors, kind of throw some more different interests out there. Absolutely love what this tree does.
I mean, the way it fits in such a narrow, so many narrow places makes this really usable in the landscape and garden. But the pink color in the early spring is really what makes Jerry Schwartz stand out. It's like a pink, bronze, brick red kind of color you don't get out of many other Japanese maples. Grab you a Jerry Schwartz today. It's an awesome tree.
All right, guys, we are bringing back another Seboldianum. We've got Acer Seboldianum Soto no Uchi.
Yeah, and Soto no Uchi may, in fact, be a tenuifolium. There's some debate on the species on this, but it's a good mid-size upright, small, rounded, full moon-like leaves, some bold oranges in the fall. Beautiful
Tree. A fun one when you get some that seed. I've noticed this one comes back fairly similar from seed. Now, these are all grafted, of course, but if you like going through Seboldianum and looking for future things, it's a great one to source. Beautiful tree in that 8-foot range. Great fall colors as well. That smaller leaf is actually really unique for a Seboldianum. It gives it a very bubbly appearance to the tree. Nice round canopy to this one as well.
Yeah, I mean, this is a classic Japanese maple you don't find frequently in the nursery trade. We got them listed here today. Probably won't last long on Mr. Maple, so make sure you check out quickly.
I found it.
So y'all, before we get to the last 2 trees we're talking about on today's 10 at 10, let's talk about our open house. We've got one coming up, Mr. Maple, from 8 a.m. until 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You're going to come here and visit. We got a lot of awesome things going on in our open house. We're shooting 10 at 10s, or we're shooting top 5s. If you want to be in one of our top 5s, we can ask you about your top 5 maples. Contact us ahead of time, or you can let us know that day. We'd love to shoot one with you. We're going to have lots of cool plants, and there's always a fun time, just the camaraderie of talking to other maple collectors who enjoy the same passions that you do.
All right, guys, let's round it out here. We've got Cupersi Dwarf. This is a fun plant. Absolutely love this one. A little bit more of a redder border on that one than the other Kiyohime styles. Small, compact, 2 to 3 feet tall, can get 5 to 6 feet wide. So it's another one of those ones that makes that low toadstool kind of plateau shape to it. Perfect for in front of windows or container gardening.
Yeah, the thing that really makes Cupersi Dwarf stand out to me is it really just creates this really nice flat top. So it grows very horizontally and it doesn't get a lot of height to it. And it gives a unique shape out there in the garden. Without adding a lot of height, it can take up a lot of space. So if you're looking to something that's not going to be blocking a view, like you're talking about underneath the windows, great, but the view of the rest of the garden, this is a great Japanese maple to put out there and really enjoy.
Cut your hair into a flat top, get you a Capercy dwarf. All right, last but not least, we're bringing in some 2-gallon Rhode Island Reds.
Rhode Island Red is the dwarf bloodgood. It makes the perfect shape everyone looks for in that dwarf bloodgood style. I mean, people are often shearing back red Japanese maple seedlings, trying to get them to have this awesome shape that Rhode Island Red has. We're talking 4 feet in height, 5 to 6 foot in width in 10 years. Makes a nice shrub-like shape with some great bloodgood-like leaves.
Grab this in time for spring, guys. It is one of the perfect container plants. I love this one in a big blue pot. It's one of the pictures we have on Mr. Maple from NJ Acer's place. Absolutely love this when you get it established. Just looks perfect in a container for me. You got everything you need going on in that small, compact, almost topiary-esque shape, but it does it all on its own. So grab your Rhode Island Red today. We've got some awesome 2 gallons in this. Both zones 5 through 9, and it does very well in sun as well.
Y'all, that's 10 of the 20 trees getting listed today on MrMaple.com. The other 10, you can find that in the email you can sign up for on MrMaple.com. And they get listed at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard.
Now don't forget, we've got a lot of savings going on in that Valentine's sale. So check that out on Mr. Maple. Share it with your garden friends. Spring's right around the corner, guys. It's time to get excited. We can't wait for spring open house. We're excited to see your faces again.
Take care.
God bless.
And have a great day.